Clear out. It's showtime. Okay. All right, everybody. So glad you're here. Thank you for joining us tonight for Old Gray Bricks Thursday Night Live. We have a full panel tonight. In fact, I saw somebody trying to get in. So if you're one of our friends who wants to get into the show, I know a couple of the folks in the show will drop out later by choice or by force. No, there's some that have to leave early tonight. So, but anyway, we're glad you're joining us. Thank you for joining us. We have steadily been above 200 subscribers on the show. So excited about that. So on the show this weekend, I'll announce some winners and all that kind of stuff, or some prizes for us making it past 200. And let me just go ahead and do a shout out to some folks in the chat while I'm here before we go to everyone. We've got Brahm is in the chat. Jeff Van Winden in the chat. Good to have you here. Richard Seamus is in the chat and in everything else. And Ryan is in the chat. And so is Seth Bland. So those are our early arrivers. So thank you for coming. Do me a favor and hit the like button down below, because that helps other people see and get YouTube likes those things. So go ahead and do that. That would be great. And encourage your friends to do that. And, you know, if you downvote me, I don't care. All right. So please don't. All right. Hello, Jeff Van Winden. Good to have you here and everything. So we got a full panel tonight. And Brick Smith and Dana have merged into Dana Smithtron, and that's pretty awesome. So anyway, let's go around the room, and you're doing the dance. That's hilarious. But I can't high five Mark Sandlin here. Let me high five Mark. Here we go. How you doing? There you go. Good job. All right. Let's go around the room. We'll start with Matt here at the bottom. Tell us what is up in your Lego world today.
So I'm getting a prop here. So give me a second. So what's up in my world is I'm spending a lot of money on Lego this week.
Oh, come on. You're supposed to put it in your hand and slap it out, man. Come on.
Make it rain.
It's raining Benjamins for the Lego Corporation at our house, because I went and bought Diagonal Alley last week, and then I went and bought the Cantina, and then of course Walmart had something on clearance when I stopped by, so I had to buy 5 of those at 50% off, and yeah, I spent a lot of money in Lego. So it's awesome. My birthday's not for like 11 more days, but we're already celebrating at our house. So we have just, we've gone on a Lego spending spree, and it's fantastic. It'll take me at least, 48 hours to build everything that I bought. Or it'll take me longer than that. But it's been fun. It's been like Christmas in September. So I built all the buildings of Diagonal Alley, and I'm not a Harry Potter person, so I sold off my minifigs because I just don't care about them. But I care about the buildings, and I have to say that the I'm not so sure about the pink burgundy building combination, but the lavender orange actually worked amazingly better than I would have ever imagined. If you told me you were going to have a building that was half lavender and half orange, I would have said you're a crazy person. But it actually doesn't look half bad. So it's downstairs, so I don't have it to hold up. But I can't wait to start on the Cantina. As a huge Star Wars Lego nerd, I have been joking for years that if Lego would make a large cantina with lots of aliens, I would literally throw my money at them, which I did. So, I can't wait.
The same bills.
Open those poly bags and build some weird, aliens. And I got a Lego Hammerhead and a Kabe, and it's pretty exciting. So happy birthday to me. It only took 50 years for Lego to make, the Star Wars trilogy that I saw at 6.5, modeled in tiny ABS plastic. But, as I turned 50, Lego really came through for me. So thank you, Lego. And you can have all of my Benjamin.
Okay, can I just say there's one Benjamin and a bunch of ones. I'm just saying. Yeah. I'm not calling you out on that.
Oh, yeah. Well, I spent all the big bills.
This is all the baby bills that are left.
That's right.
Even cooler if you'd have had a bunch of the 1x2 green, $100 Lego tiles that you're dropping there. That would have been amazing. So
we'll just pretend that these are dollars.
Yeah, they're even better when you print your own. But anyway, all right, let's go to Greg, the U.S. Greg, also known as Danish Space Program. What is going on, man?
Hey, I've been buying some sets as well, but unlike the new stuff, I'm going old school. I'm living in the 80s. I got some of the old Futuron sets that I never had.
Yeah.
Got my little red guy down here. He was only ever in, I think, 2 sets, so I'm pretty stoked to finally get one of them. Not the base, but a base. I've been playing with this with my kid. Whoops, there goes the rover. Been playing with this with my kids, which has been some fun. They're kind of in awe of some of these old parts. And I've been trying not to overreact entirely when they take pieces off, because there's the fine line between deconstructing and breaking something down. But we'll probably get into that a little bit later in the show.
Yeah, we will.
Save those comments.
I'm doing micros as always, but kind of on the opposite end of the spectrum. I've been going in on Ship-Timber, so I have a 102 stud long. It's pretty much just a barge at this point that I don't know if I'm gonna finish, either because I lose interest or because I run out of pieces. But this is way out of my comfort zone to build something that big, so it's been kind of cool and interesting to be building large for a change. And I don't know, you saw the main bridge there. That's the bridge of my spaceship, which is really an Art Deco tower. I'm envisioning this thing being a floating city, and because of the whole Art Deco theme, I don't know if I'm going to go steampunk or diesel punk or just weird with it. So lots of things floating around in my head.
That's cool.
I like it. Kind of reminds me of the whatever, the ships in Firefly, where they look like big cities or whatever instead of, a sleek spaceship kind of thing. That was cool. All right, good deal, man. And so my Ship-Timber actually is done. I've got maybe a piece or two here and there to throw inside, but I've got it done. So I'm excited about that. All right, let's see here. Let's go to Bricksmith. Bricksmith, what is up in your Lego world today, man?
Huh? Oh, sorry. What? What are you kids doing here? No, I got a thing. And ball joints.
Oh, you made that out of ball joints? That's cool.
I didn't make it out of. I mean, just tongue out of ball joints.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Where'd you guys get it?
Together real well.
Lord.
Does it have 5 points of articulation? That's important.
5 points of articulation.
What's articulation?
What's 5 points? No. Don't worry. He's gonna have. Don't worry about the tongue. That's just extra. That's a bonus.
There's so many jokes I'm not going to make right now. Yes. All right, you did a haul video on your channel. Is that right?
Yeah, but it's a secret. Nobody knows about it.
Oh, is that right? Well,
you have to join the channel and earn and pay me the money to see the video early.
Oh, I got you. Well, check Bricksmith out tomorrow. He'll be dropping. Or is it not going to?
No, I'm going to turn it on, but it's stupid. Don't bother.
Hurtful.
Oh, stab.
It doesn't. Yeah.
All right.
Are you still got me up here, Chris?
About what?
Why am I still? Oh, you said take time.
No, I didn't. Now you did. Make sure you check out Bricksmith because he does lots of shows during the week and does short sort where he talks
None
about
of them are amused, Chris. Just keep going.
Yeah. But anyway, make sure you like and subscribe and everything. Rich, let us see how devastating the move is on you. You haven't even seen the Lego in the background.
I moved upstairs for this evening. There's been very little progress in the room this week. We were waiting for the saran wrap, the moving wrap to actually get here because we ran out of our first roll. So it came today, just as we got back home from doing all kinds of other crazy things that didn't involve Lego. So tomorrow, my wife is going to help me pack up some more racks, and I'll take some more pictures. If you want to see my Instagram, you can see the progress so far. I didn't take any pictures today, but tomorrow there'll be pictures, more pictures up on Instagram. And I did a little outdoor camping thing for the Wama Lug Masters Happy Hour The theme was the great outdoors, and I did a little camper scene in the woods and lots of foliage on what was left and available to me after having packed up so much and put it in storage. So it was a good theme for the build last night, and yeah, I was able to make something, and I actually won. So yay!
Woo.
That's cool. Can I just make an observation, Rich? I don't know.
Sure.
You look a lot like Bob Denver tonight. I don't know what it is. I think it's the glasses.
Take care of them, catch a bow.
Could be. Sure.
But
Why not?
can you sing for us a little sunshine on my shoulder? No, please don't. Anyway. But
Sunshine on my shoulders make me happy.
yeah, that's awesome. That's
I can't tell them apart.
Nailed
I cannot. Look at wait, there we go. There.
Separated at birth.
That's awesome. All right. Don't fly any planes, by the way.
No.
I'm sorry, but too soon. I'm sorry. That was bad. All right. Let's head up to the Great White North, and see what's going on. What's up, Thunder Bacon, also known as Gil? How are you today?
Oh, not bad. I've upgraded my camera to 3 pixels. So enjoy.
Don't use them all at once.
Yeah, and apparently it makes me sort of the pallor of the undead. So yeah, yeah, not bad. Yeah, doing okay. I've sort of just under the wire finished up that one thing I was talking about last week. So I'll see if I can share my screen.
Oh yeah, throw that up.
Okay.
Thing.
Yeah, pants are surprisingly on for this share. So
We appreciate it.
Do better.
So yeah, so it started out with this, just a little photo thing using like a warg and and I think that's actually a Ninjago helmet of some sort, but he looked kind of cool on there because otherwise he just looked like some guy with a knob on the top of his head.
How did you get the sunlight filter? How did you get that sunlight effect? That's really cool.
The Virga?
The sunlight is actually their kicker lights that are just up to the side, and then if you have a humidifier, you sort of just blow some of the steam in there, and there you go.
Nice.
So there's that, but what I wanted to do for this is I wanted to sort of do 2 things, right? I wanted to put this together, but then I also wanted to, if that shows, I don't know if that's showing or not.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But yeah, so I wanted to do like an illustration sort of based on that and try to do a style that's not quite, like the typical Lego style, kind of like a hybrid half between. So yeah, it turned out okay. I mean, it's not too bad, but it's kind of one of the larger pieces that I've done. So, and anyway, it's okay, but it's a good first start. So I want to kind of try to do this a few more times and, bring in some of their themes, spacey stuff, sort of things like that. So yeah.
No, that's more than okay, dude. That's really, really well done. So, yeah.
Well, thank you.
I think everybody in the chat agrees with you. Agrees it is. Hey, dude, Jude, I noticed you in the chat there. So yeah, that's really awesome, dude. So awesome. I'm glad you're here tonight. Let's continue going around the room. Nick, man, it's been a while since we've seen you. How you doing?
Doing well. Living the life, cleaning and sorting still. Nothing's been built, but I found some things while we were cleaning. I found this guy from some Flickr deal 10 years ago.
Is that a telephone thing or whatever?
That is, no, the game was a mashup of a sci-fi theme and a Lego theme. So I picked a Snowspeeder and M-Tron.
Sweet.
And again, it was like 12 or 13 years ago. I don't remember, but
I don't know if I remember that. That's awesome, man.
In the spirit of Old Gray, it's using Old Gray.
Yes.
In the spirit of classic, this guy comes without a helmet.
Respect.
And that's right. That's hardcore. And he comes out in his little command chair.
Space chair.
Nice.
We'll figure out the
Awesome.
camera thing.
Hover chair. Yeah, that's awesome.
Usually with the helmet. And underneath, what this thing is designed to do is move one of those Mtron boxes around the galaxy.
Spaceman.
And if he does it right, let me see.
You got that right, Neil.
Absolutely.
That's what they're all designed to do, just to move the Mtron box around.
That's it. That's the whole point of Mtron is to move boxes.
That is super sweet. I don't remember that. That is awesome, man. That's super awesome.
Yeah, I thought I'd remember that too, because that's pretty cool.
It's fun, and it's I think the only thing still standing in here. We'll get to the kids' end of it later, but
Waves of destruction and death going on. All right, let's go.
that would have been handy earlier, huh?
That's right. Let's go to our lovely ladies in the room. Let's see what's going on. Meredith, what's up? You and Miss N, what do you guys have going on today?
We are working our way through Diagon Alley. So Natalie finished by herself, with the exception of the stickers. She finished the Weasleys by herself.
Nice.
And now we're working on the bookshop, but
And
And-
the ice cream shop.
ice cream shop. And she's doing it all by herself. I'm just sitting here doing the stickers. But the ship is kind of like I'm waiting for the sales to come from England, so no work has been done.
Wait a minute. We thought you already had sales.
I need to buy more because, like, when I put them on, they weren't.
Full
I
enough?
need more. I need
Yeah.
more. You know.
We need more power, Captain.
That's right.
It's just the scale. Sometimes that's why I can't build an LLD or whatever, because like until you see it yourself and look at the scale from different angles, you just get that je ne sais quoi, the feeling of it looks good or it looks proportional. Yeah.
Watch your language, by the way. Come on now.
The Canadian guys should probably know what I'm saying, right?
Oh,
It's
maybe.
Spanish for I don't know.
Couldn't apply, right?
Don't poke the bear.
Anyway, so yeah, it's
Does that word mean gravy? Because that's what it means. Anyway, go ahead.
It just means just the something, you know. You look
Yes,
at it, and the scale doesn't look right. You have to redo it, and so I'm just waiting. I have purple. We bought purple and blue, but the purple never looked good, so I put them there. But we're waiting for the sales to come from England. So whenever Her Majesty's Royal Postal Service brings them to us, they will be on the ship.
You know, the last time we waited on sales from England, we never mind. I'm not saying anything. All right. Redcoats got kicked out. All right, so
right, enough.
let's go to Mr.
Enough.
Don't diss 1812, mister.
Whatever, Canada boy. All right, so let's go to Mr. Mark Sandlin. What's going on, man, in your world? Mr. Mark Sandlin is muted. Muted,
Don't
Mark
tell
Sandlin.
him. Let him figure it out. Yeah,
Hi, I'm Mark Sandlin.
Hey, it's mute sandwich.
Sorry about that. I had to mute because the peanut gallery has been especially talkative.
All right,
this
I'll
evening.
slow down. Thanks for telling me.
So, on my own personal peanut gallery. Here. Let's go to Small Paul Cam. Here he is. Small Paul is down there with his own Lego world going on there.
And it is properly scattered about, too.
Yes, it's very scattered. We're gonna maybe do something about that this weekend.
Yeah, good luck.
Yeah, I've been sorted out the Scuderia Ferrari truck, which has many of these things in it, which are kind of fun. So those big giganto tiles, what was that,
A lot of
8x16?
fanning out of
Those big
stuff
tiles
tonight.
are fun.
Way better.
Making it rain. Thank you, Paul. So yeah, I've been doing a lot of sorting. And on the topic for this
Much better than
evening, we're going to try to move a bunch of the Lego from Paul's room down to the main Lego room, so all the Lego will be contained in
theory,
one room. In theory, yes, of course, because it always migrates. But it will temporarily be housed in one room. So yeah, that's about all I've done this week. Since the last Old Gray Bricks, I haven't built anything new this week. So
been
doing a lot of
kids are
work.
back in school here too. So
That's the real reason I have to move, is I have to get all my Lego in one place, and I'll have to move to do that.
well, Rich, you'd probably have to buy a small town, but anyway. All right, Dana, what's going
Who
on,
says
man?
I'm not?
Or at least a small plantation, maybe something like that. I don't know. So yeah, it has been just. I think I know that September is supposed to be Ship-tember, but for me, it's just been Lego-tember, birthday month, all Lego, all the time. It's crazy. So in much the same way that Matthew's throwing money like crazy at Lego, I could pull out my credit card and do the same thing as opposed to flipping cash around. But
Yes, put it close so I can, and let me get a pen to write the number down. Hang on, I'll be right back.
let me get my wallet's downstairs. I'm sorry, Chris. Maybe next time. But yeah, so I may have talked about this earlier in the month, but I got a huge 50% off clearance at Walmart. I walked out with several $100s worth of set, several $100s worth of sets for half price. Then of course they shipped the Razor Crest, so I got that. Then Chris hooked me up with a Facebook Marketplace sale that was all but one M-Tron set and two of the Space Police 2 sets.
Oh, he's good for Marketplace, ain't he?
Yeah, screaming deal. And then of course this happened Wednesday, which I was not thinking of it happening, so I had to pick this up because, as Matthew pointed out, it's fantastic. I think this, just as a side note, they're selling out of this quickly. I mean, they will get more in. We know that they're going to keep cranking the plastic wheel, and they're going to keep spitting them out. But I think this set is going to wind up being if it's not the Lego set that everyone wants this year, it will definitely be the Lego Star Wars set that everyone wants this year. The little speeder, this was definitely designed by an AFOL who went to work for Lego, because it is snot-tastic and interesting part usage. Even just the bar. I mean, I've only gotten through bag 4, and the amount of detail and fantastic building techniques in just these two things alone, it is amazing. So I can only imagine that the rest of the set is going to continue to blow my mind away. So you heard it here. Mark me now. This is going to be the Lego set of the year. I'm just going to tell you right now. So then today, I go to the Wally World because I got to go get cat food and some other stuff. And I walk into the clearance aisle. And so this is a different Walmart than the other Walmart that I hit earlier in the month. And there's another huge explosion of 50% offsets. And I'm like, I call the wife and she says, well, why wouldn't you buy them?
Oh, what a good wife.
She only sent you out for cat food.
But why wouldn't you buy the Lego? So she's a great enabler. She's a great enabler. So I've been shooting money towards Lego all month long. I need, no, they're not, but they should be. They should be.
Doesn't seem like they need to.
This is really
I feel like but the problem is that I'm way too into the hobby, and we all know that if you're way too into the hobby, you can't go work for Lego. It's frowned upon. I don't know if you heard that, but supposedly it is. But since last week, or if you caught us on Messy Mondays, I started building a little Cobalt over the weekend, a ball joint sort of thing. So I even gave him a little base to sit on now, and I got a spear to hang into his arm, and then I even gave him a little, thanks to Mark's piquing my interest, I gave him a little bag to have his loot hanging on. And he stands on his own, but I wanted to give him a little base so it looks like he's actually standing in a little dungeon or something like that. So it turned out well. I'm happy with it. So other than that, and building slowly, I'm gonna savor building the Mos Eisley Cantina. I'm not gonna try and rush it. A lot of times I'll rush through a set, But this one I'm going to take my time because it's a fun little set. So that is my Lego world going on this week, which I guess, Chris, I think that would bring us to
the old gray set of the week.
The old gray brick set of the week. Someday we'll get a better. So this week's old gray brick set of the week is
beep beep.
The Gamma 5 Laser Craft.
Oh yeah,
That's a good one.
This
I had that.
This one holds a special place in my heart because it was one of the 8 sets that I had from when I was a kid, which points out that I actually had 3 black spacemen from my childhood. So for me, where everybody else was like they were rare, that was like I had the most of that color besides red, I think.
Wow.
So,
Once you go black space man.
Yeah. So let's talk about this.
Yes.
Classic Space 1985. A whopping 144 pieces. Minifigures, you got 1 black spaceman and 1 robot, which is kind of funny that Brick Set actually lists it as saying that it has 2 minifigures. Nah, we got 1 minifigure and a robot.
Or a robot. Hey, Brick, Blueberry, good to have you here. Brick Bunny's good to see you.
Oh, hey, gang.
Quick shout outs. Used price right now will run you about $40 to $80 on Bricklink, depending on where you can find it. And if you happen to find one in box, it's going to run you a cool $644 per sold one set that's sold in the last 6 months on Bricklink. In box, that's crazy Lego money right there for you.
Who could keep that in the box though?
I don't see anybody could either.
That's like 2 cantinas right there.
and for a fraction of the pieces. All right, so why is it cool?
Did you see
So
it?
first thing to talk about is the trans yellow antenna that comes in this set, which you only got 1. The trans yellow antenna only came in 2 sets. The other set actually had 2 in it, which is a much smaller set. All came out in 1985. As Greg and I have been kind of talking on Instagram, 85, that was the year of like explosion of all cool parts for space sets. So lots of cool stuff going on here. Speaking of the cool parts, that 4x4x6 corner panel convex ribbed. Insert your own Wayne's World joke there for the rib.
Maybe not, but it could continue.
So those big corner convex panels were introduced in '85. They only came in about 8 sets. This was one of the few sets that it came. Or I think it was one of the 2 sets that came in black. So I think the other one was a police set or something like that. Other thing to talk about is the fact that this has a brick-built robot. And that was another thing that was really common in 84 and 85. You got little brick-built robots. And this one had the blue modified 1x2x3. And that part in blue has only been in 4 sets, this being one of them. Another classic space set, a ice planet set, and I forget what the 4th one is. But very uncommon to find those blue little robot bodies. So those are hot topic if you can find them. And then the last thing, it's modular, which kind of goes into the whole playability that we always talk about for classic space sets or any of the classic sets of what you could do with them, because you could create your own little adventure instead of it just being a little thing you throw on the shelf and that was it. So again, this week's set of the week is the Gamma 5 Laser Craft, and I will switch over to my other cams. You can see the in-studio version. So here we go. Here's my little, and this is the original ship that I had from when I was a lad. All still original pieces, all in nice working order. So if you haven't seen this one up in person, the fact that it splits in the section there, so you got your space fighter can go fly off and do its thing, and then you got your container part in the back here. It's got little doors in the back, which normally I would put the little spaceman in pieces and let him fit in there, which actually kind of works out pretty good. And actually, you know what? I'm my bad. I was going to pull out the spaceman, and he's in another tub. So,
hey, this is a different show. Anyway, go ahead.
I pull out a duplicate from. Well, you know what? So to prove that spaceman was my favorite.
Nobody put spaceman in tub.
Nobody put spaceman in tub. So I actually, when I did my classic space X-wing, I had to take and put that same little blue robot to sit there and ride Astromech for the
Classic
Classic.
Sweet.
That was again. And Chris talks about this, that iron sharpens iron, and when it comes to building Lego, it's definitely the case, because anytime I'm building something, and I'll always send pics to my Lego homies or my Lego peeps, and it always helps when one of them says, "Hey, why didn't you do this?" And I smack myself and then I go, "Why didn't I do that?" And it's great to have that interaction with your other Lego buddies, because Chris helped me on a couple of small things. He's like, I originally was going to put like a yellow and white astromech droid from like Star Wars. And he's like, no. Why don't you put a classic space droid in the back? And I'm like, you're right. Why don't I? So, talk about your Lego with your buddies and show them what you're building, because they're the ones that are going to kind of give you those little back kicks in the back of the head of like, hey, why didn't you do this? And you're like, oh yeah. So again, shout out to Chris for helping me with little tidbits along the way. And that's all I got. So Chris, back to you.
All right, good deal. All right, I'm gonna show real quick. I'm gonna show what I have done.
Go back to US, Greg, for a second.
Yeah, I saw Greg had something flash. All right, wait, what was that? What was that? Here we go.
That's what we're talking
This is a
about.
much cheaper option.
Not in the box though.
Not in the box.
Oh yeah, there you go.
$528.
Perfect. All right, so I am done with my Ship-Timber ship, and I mean, it doesn't look that much different to you guys, I'm sure, but all the patches that needed greebles have been greebled, and there's little blaster guns on the side. There's phaser banks in the thing there, so she's all done, and the interior is finished as well, but I'm not gonna pull that apart for y'all. I'll do that on a video this weekend. So
How come it doesn't creak? How come it doesn't creak when you pick it up?
because I got lucky this time.
The vacuum of space.
Yeah, no, there's a really good thick Technic sandwich through the middle of that thing, and it's holding it together. So anyway, so I'm excited. My ship is done, and
Did you say Technic? Because I just fell asleep.
do what?
Did you just say Technic?
I use Technic. All right, but yes, Technic in only the sense of Technic bricks and everything. So anyway, all right. So tonight we're talking about, and some of our kiddos are present. You would figure I would have my. Oh, hang on, I lost somebody. There's Rich. There he is. You would think I would have my kiddo present, but he is Fortniting at the moment. So that is the way of a 15-year-old. But I have raised a kid immersed in the Lego world, and many of you have as well. So if anybody wants to start out to share maybe just a story, like a great story, heartwarming story, the music playing, soft story, just a moment with you and your kid playing with Lego, and then we'll just talk about, how the Lego has impacted your community and why your kid always steals your rare Lego parts, even though you tell them not to. So if anybody got an awesome story, just you and your kid building with Lego, let's start out with that. At once.
So
I've got one. I've got
that's my old. Where'd he go? He left me already.
Weird.
That is my oldest. At age that tall in the original Lego room.
Awesome.
He was into it early, and I'm saying from day zero. He was in this room before he could crawl or walk, rolling around on the floor, getting trapped under the table. I was building for Brick Fair.
Mm-hmm.
He was the one, as he was training to do other things, would yell from the throne room, "Get me the Lego catalog and get out."
On the John, right?
Throne room, PG. Well, I don't know if is that PG-13. He wasn't wearing pants.
I'm not wearing pants now.
Wait,
Are you on the throne? You know what? This got weird. This got dark.
It got
I'm glad that it's not me.
Everyone's glad that it's not you. But so now, and as a family, there's 2 children. Both love the product. Both do very different things with it, and I'm glad that the system plays into that. Brick Fair up until this year was our favorite week of the year because there was no favorite week of the year. So I like building space stuff. They have both taken into building very, very different things. My son likes Technic and great ball contraptions. He likes building pop culture figs, but not as much as he likes sticking them on ball contraptions. My daughter enjoys building houses and stories and look and finds.
Sweet.
So you talked about, I'm gonna let you run this interview, but you talked about things that went well, things that didn't go so well, or maybe mistakes that were made.
Yeah.
I think the number one issue we had is the sorting and the sorting system. They have their free play brick, but they love being able to find what they need in here. They do not love putting it away.
Universal net.
Right.
Uh-huh.
It's a 3-person unsorting effort, and it's about a 1/4 to a half-person sorting effort.
Like that.
That much is certain for real. That's right.
Yeah.
You've got 2. I've only got 1. So
it's double the fun, and it's quadruple to 1,000 times the sorting.
All right. Good deal. Anybody else?
One thing I would do different.
Yeah.
Give a free play bucket, just even if it's your stuff, just a free play bucket they can go into and kiss it goodbye.
You mean Cloud Cuckoo Land?
Yeah, that's right. That was the one in the Lego movie. That was one thing, is that he's got the kids' Lego over there, but the kids playing with his stuff, right? So because his stuff is cooler by far. So yeah. All right. Anybody else got thank you, Nick. Anybody else got a little heartwarming story just to get us
Do I have a
going?
heartwarming story about you?
Oh, there you go. Sandlin's got the picture here.
Small ball.
That's the small Paul photo of him building his first system set. That was the first non-Duplo set that he put together. It was one of those little racers things.
And now I broke it.
And now we got the peanut gallery here now. So he actually just took some of the pieces from that little race car and added them to another car that he built this evening. And
If you guys haven't seen it, I'll go get it.
he's gonna go get it.
But wait, there's more.
There's more.
Oh boy.
And I also
Okay, we'll just bring that. Let's talk about that one. See, he's built a car out of many pieces. So they can see it.
Nice.
These are for.
Oh, careful.
These are for getting energy from the sun.
Yeah, solar panels. Okay.
It's environmentally responsible.
Sun for energy
Yeah.
to power up the car, and they're also for protection in case he's in a car crash, like his car flips over or something. And also, his helmet is top.
That's exactly what my car does.
If he was shorter, then both of you would fit over him. But whenever he's driving, they just go up like that.
Yeah.
Paul, can I ask you a question?
Like
Yeah,
two
Paul,
little.
you have a
backlights.
question. Listen.
What?
The question is, so I heard something about a plan in your house to move your Lego room down into Dad's junior level Lego room. How do you feel about that?
Might be pretty hard because I have a lot of Lego.
I could see the stress in the man's eyes.
Yeah.
But you also use a lot of Dad's Lego.
Well, hey!
Why don't you tell the guys why you like to use Dad's Lego?
Because it helps me build what I need to build.
Because Dad's Lego is sorted.
Amen. Yeah.
There you go.
2 points makes a line.
Thanks, buddy.
Oh, that's great. Yeah,
All
go
right.
on.
Meredith, I think you were about to tell us a story. What you got?
Well, I mean, the whole reason, I guess, well, Brian got out of his dark age before me, but I became out of my dark age because she was building and playing with Lego. So, I mean, I get annoyed when especially I did probably 2 weeks of sorting minifig parts, and now they're forever never together. But she's having fun with it, so that kind of takes the edge off
a little bit.
I'm gonna sell a $100 Queen Amidala fig that. So I mean, to me, it's a way to connect with her. So I don't want to be president business, right?
Wait, well, we're not supposed. He was my role model. What I gotta watch it again.
But almost all of my mocks are mocks she told me to build, or gave me an idea to build, or said we need to build this. So I can't kind of not imagining building without her, because she's the muse. Are you the muse?
Yep, she definitely does give you some great ideas that you have run rampant with. So props to her for being the idea girl.
She has a bigger imagination than me. But I mean, on the flip side, I mean, all of her teachers have noticed that the spatial thinking skills from spending, I mean, the Duplos, she did Duplos and it was always just, building. And then once, she's about 5, she started doing just regular system sets. And now she's doing adult system sets. The spatial thinking has exploded.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which is always good.
It does make people smarter.
It does.
Look at us.
Look at the evidence, of course. It's before you.
So, I mean, I'm going to share my little memory here. I was wanting to put it in the bottom. It just went all ahead of the screen. That is Jake with Quattro bricks.
Oh, showing out.
Look at that. So, little dude.
10 cents per piece.
I wish I still had those. They were probably worth it. Yeah, there's a little dude right there. So, I'll show some more later and everything. But all right. So, anybody else? A story? Let's see. Now, wait. So, how many here? How many here actually came to the brick because of their kid?
Well, out of the dark ages.
Out of the dark ages, or Bricksmith just totally out of and everything. All right.
My parents didn't love me. I only had one set, so I changed that for my kid. But whatever.
I get you. So yeah, so that's a different perspective. A lot of us are old school Lego or whatever, and we have brought our kids into it because, I mean, that's just where we live, all that kind of stuff. So, all right, Greg, I saw you. What you got?
I have a 7-year-old son and a 5-year-old daughter, and I feel like within this last year, they've both really reached the stage of intentional building. This is my son's latest creation. This is his house/restaurant that his sig fig lives in and works in all the time. But I feel like I've always tried to share with them my old stuff, but it's boring compared to what's out on the market right now. They like the really cool colors. They like the cool play features, and it's hard to compete with that. But I kind of think that actually stifled maybe getting to this point a little bit, because even the big creator boxes where it's just pieces, there's like 20 different colors, and you only get like 4 of one piece in any one color. And if you're trying to build something like a house where you need just plain bricks to do it, it was very difficult for them to do that. And I tried to build with them to show them how to like put the pieces together, how to do something similar to the models on the box. And I just realized, wow, it's really hard to build something with these, what are essentially nowadays versions of the basic buckets. So I was pleased that they're doing this. My son just turned 7 last month, and the very first Lego set I ever got was when I turned 7. And it was a fire truck, and I gave it to him, and I wrote this little note in his birthday box that I had wrapped it up in, and put the pieces in a Ziploc bag. And he opened it, and he thought it was the coolest thing ever. And a month has gone by, and he has not built it. And that's just eating at me a little bit, but it can't compete with the cool stuff like the snowplow that shoots snowballs, or the garbage truck with the real working functional arm on it. So it is what it is, but they love getting into my box of minifigs and just building people by the dozens or by the hundreds almost, honestly, and just putting them everywhere and on everything.
Have you had any Admiral / Hogwarts students of Akbar because that's what my child loved making. He loved taking Admiral Akbar's head and putting him on Hogwarts minifigs.
I don't have any of those, unfortunately. They tend to just grab fistfuls of stuff and start putting them together. And I wish I had some examples here because there have been some really awesome combinations of minifigs that have been Frankensteined together. So it's pretty funny, the stuff that gets left on my desk. That's the one.
I'm sharing that. I'm sharing that from your screen there. The set you shared with him. You know what's funny about that set is that's the first set I restored that set. I was on one of Bricksmith's shows and I had dug that out of a box. But man, that's really, really cool. All the feels, yeah, man. I'm looking at reading it on there. That's awesome.
You were in my stream when that happened.
No. This has been like a couple days ago. No, kidding.
Well,
But, that's awesome.
Natalie has gone through this phase and she still continues, and it's not just Lego. She wants to experience things that were cool or that we liked when we were kids. It started with,
Sympathetic nostalgia.
like Princess Bride, Goonies, Back to the Future. You like Back to the Future. And then, of course, it's like, well, what stuff did you have back then? And now that's why I had to go buy all the Paradisia sets. Ryan will not let her play with his Blacktron sets.
What? Ryan.
I do have to say the one classic set my son has been interested in is this robot guy right here. We have some epic space battles with the Spirius robot as colored Blacktron.
That's cool.
But it goes up on the shelf when we're done.
Oh wait. Show that again.
I say we've had some epic battles. He's been into this just because you can't deny this is cool, but it goes up on the shelf when we're done. Dad's got to be in the room for this to come out.
Blacktron version of Spirius. That is awesome.
Supervised visitation.
Pretty much.
That's right.
When they had all of the Blacktron bounty hunters from the CMS, we bought a ton of them, and they ended up hunting baby Mando and Yoda. Or Baby Yoda and Mando.
That would be awesome, Baby Mando and Yoda. There we go. Hey, let me share this. This is actually okay. Just touching moment here. Hang on, let me find it here.
When you're done, Chris, I've got one too.
Yeah. This is a cool picture because Jake is playing with the set that we made, and that's really cool.
Aww.
Now, yeah, it is. What's cool about it? Well, then this may get to our point later. I had this on display. Mel let me have it on the mantle for a month, and then it went to the dining room to be on the buffet. And I came home, and he was playing with it without permission. But that was okay, right? So, but yeah, that little guy, that was super cool back in those days. Anyway, so that's a pretty neat experience, and he was whooshing the spaceships properly, so that was awesome.
That's
all right. Who said they had another? Which one?
Yeah, me.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, it's like a heartwarming thing. It's partly because it involves my daughter, and a big black square.
Yeah, I got a big black square right now. So. Was it full stars?
Yeah, it's like a obelisk or monolith or something.
Nice.
There you go.
It's the inside
but
of
no.
the
So anyway, what it was is that like with my daughter, like when she was very young, very much into the Duplo thing and all that stuff. But then as she started to get older, we started to try to introduce, system, scale, and she was enjoying it enough, but never sort of picked it up on her own to build stuff. It'd always be us, and it'd be like, and I would be doing like 95% of the building, and she would just sort of be, along for the ride and stuff, but still kind of enjoying it. And then I remember, I was in chat back, this was like 10 years ago, and talking to our dear sweet soul friend Tom. And Tom, of course, has two daughters as well, right? So when I was talking to him, and he said, I said, it's fun, but I always kind of wish we would be, more, interactive. Like, that we were like, it's a 50-50 thing, more collaborative. And then I remember him saying to me, "It's like, oh yeah." He's like, "Is she having a good time?" I'm like, "Well, yeah." It's like, doing it right, man. So I'm like, oh, yeah, brother, you got it, man. You got it right there. So, you know, you can build, you don't have to build. You're in the same room with the kid. TV's not on. You're both, you know, you're talking, you're jamming, you're doing your thing. They don't even have to pick the thing up. She for years, she's still now at 13. She loves to come with me to Toys R Us, just look through the aisles. Why? She interested in the product? Yeah, you know, Harry Potter, neat this. No, because she's with the old man. So anything that acts as a connective tissue between you and your kid, whether actively or just whether something where it's like it's a safe place where the two of you can sort of like spend some time together. That's what it's about, man. That's if it grows out of that to something bigger, great. If it stays at that level, that's cool.
Yeah. That's great. Yeah, I mean, and we'll talk about things that are aggravating and things that are annoying as we go along with the kids, but that's just parenting. I mean, be honest, straight up. But yeah, just to, you know,
Sure.
I
Did this last?
let's see that. But yeah, going through that and we're having those memories, that's super awesome.
Natalie
Oh yeah,
was so excited. Chris, do you recognize what's in the middle?
yeah, that's the space. The little dudes running away from the space stuff. That's
Natalie was so excited that day to go to Lego store and see her pink unicorn tower in the corner there. So excited. She thought it was the coolest. You thought it was so cool that your Lego build was in a Lego store.
Yeah,
He was just so excited.
That's super awesome.
Hey, Chris, you need to submit that to Ideas.
Oh, the little dudes running away from the tentacle thing. Yeah, I could do that one day. But yeah, now I mean, and even some of you, we're live with our kids. Some of us now. Mine is upstairs. He's of course Fortniting, but we've been doing this for a long, long time together, and we still do it. And we're trying to do the Lego show and stuff together, and everything. And as they age, they change their interests a little bit, but they'll still roll back into that connection point, especially when it's, you know, no one's looking around and it's still cool to come back in here in the Lego room and all that kind of stuff. What I've also found as my kid has grown up, he wants to kick me out of the Lego room so he can hang out and do his thing down here by himself. You know what? I'm kind of okay with that because, you know, he needs to then flesh out what he's imagining and what he's doing. But then comes the issue of where the heck are my rare parts? I need those parts. I bought those parts on Bricks and Pieces. I've waited for 6 weeks for those to get here. I had 20 of them and I got 2 left. And guess where they are? They're in the kids' stuff. So have you guys ever experienced that? Obviously we have, but how do you deal with that?
I have a system.
Uh-oh.
It's called the moving drawer.
Does it involve beatings? I mean,
no, that's not a system. No, it's beatings. Come on. I can hit you just for saying that. No, the system is you take one of these drawers that has what you want in it and you keep it moving so it can never be found.
What's that?
You got to hide the stash.
Nice.
But you have to remember where the stash is because that's bitten me twice.
All right. So now I will say one rule that we do have in this house is when I get a part and I really don't want to, I will put it in a bag within the drawer. And I'm like, you can't use the parts in the little bags. Okay. So that slows him down just a tad, but not all the time. So anybody else have the rare parts? Yeah. Well, what you don't have what?
Your cat getting parts?
Yeah.
So, everyone's like, does he have, wait, there's secret children? No, I don't have any children. So
you hide the children.
But my sister has 3, so I'm an uncle 3 times over. And especially when I used to work at the Lego brand retail, so I had the employee discount, which was amazing. And I gave them Lego every Christmas. And then even after I stopped working at the store, I still was giving them Lego. And they're getting into that teenage years. In fact, the oldest one just graduated from high school and is going to go to college. And so about 2 years ago, I asked my sister, I said, you know, it's coming up on Christmas. I said, you know, I've given them Lego in the past, but what do they want? And so she's like, well, I'll ask them. I said, you know, I like to build Lego as an adult, but they may not still want to get it anymore. And so she texted me back and she said, I asked the kids and they're like, no, building Lego sets at Christmas is kind of our Matt tradition, and they still want to get Lego from you. And I was like, awesome.
Well, that's cool.
Sweet.
Big warm fuzzy.
Yeah.
Job well done.
What? And you know what? And that's another thing about Lego, especially in Germany and other countries like that. Lego is a family activity, not just a kid activity, which is great. And I guess we experienced that here as well. But anyway, yeah. What's up, man? Richard.
Yeah. So it didn't work out so well with my kid. He kind of like grew out of it. He went to a dark age and then left the country. Well, that's not really true. He's somewhere in the country. I don't know where he's at. But I've got 3 grandkids, and every year, yeah, thanks. And every year for Christmas, for birthdays, they want Lego. We take them to our Lego club meetings, and they sit on the floor and build Lego, and they look at other people's stuff, and they're really getting techniques from people and talking to stuff. So that's my hope, is the grandchildren won't ever have a dark age and will still be into Lego forever.
Right on.
Yeah,
Sure.
that's awesome.
So I'm ready to go finally, Chris. I'm done doing my multi-level build for my lug.
What?
I said I'm done building that's my admission to the whatever. Anyway, yeah, you'll see. Hey Jeff, so I had a handful of Lego sets as a child and as a young adult, and I say just a few. I think it was 3 is the total. But one day, my daughter, I think she was 6, 7. Anyway, she came and she goes, "I want some of them girl Legos," and I said, "What?" We went down the aisle, and there they were. And I told my wife, I said, "Let's get them for Christmas." And then I sat down and we built them together. And I was like, "This is not what I remember." So she got me back into, got me into Lego all together. And now she's a 15-year-old girl, and boys are way cooler than Lego. She will sneak in here on a live stream late at night while she's trying to eat ramen or whatever. Which is hey, it works. So she cuts up in here a little bit, but not like a lot. But now I have Alex as our new 3-year-old son, and now I'm prepping to get him out of the Duplo and into the system. And there is such a gray area when it comes to what's yours, what's mine, what am I being too much, when am I not being enough? It's very difficult for me to separate in my mind his versus mine, or what, so I'm struggling terribly with that, but
I continue to struggle with it.
Yeah. And I'm going to continue to struggle, and that's fine because he likes Mom's Harry Potter more than my stuff. So, and hers is all built over there. But anyway, so that's my story. And Emily and I, we bonded over Lego. We bonded over the YouTube. If you go back 6 years ago, you can look at my videos. It's me and Little Brick. Yeah. So, I don't know. Is that what you wanted, Chris? Is that good enough?
Yeah, you got to win right there, man. Good job.
Oh. Thanks, buddy.
Well, and there's many ways for us to communicate with our kid. And somebody has their kid with them. Look at there. Hi, how are you?
Are you? You don't have to say your name if you don't want to. They don't need to know. But how are you? That's it. Good.
No, awesome.
Better. Nice. Nice. This is our. So, what's your name? You're not Thunder Bacon. That's the other dude. You have to pick something else. Thunder Pineapple here. She enjoys more than anything right now is getting her friends' figs out and taking their heads off and sorting them and just sorting the heck out of them. She asked for storage containers for her birthday, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you can sort all their outfits and build out of them. Mm-hmm. So you're pretty much a mini doll Frankenstein factory.
Yep.
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 And what's your favorite drawer in this room? You want to go get it?
Hey, Chris. We gotta say goodnight, actually.
You guys are headed out?
Well, she's going to bed.
I gotcha. Hang on. I'll switch back to you, Nick.
But we're fellow friends Frankensteining now. So,
That one.
can you say goodnight, Matt?
Impossible.
Good night. Good night.
Good night.
Everybody tell Miss Ann good night. Good night. Good night. Good night. All right. Good to see you, Meredith.
Woo!
Woo!
All right.
All right. Oh,
We
let me go back
have-
to Nick. And I think somebody's trying to get in. I'll let them in once you guys bump out. So have a good night. All right. We
Bye.
go back to you guys here. Here we go.
She found the drawer, and it's the bling drawer.
I like me some of that bling.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
The
Big
jewels and
drawer.
the money.
Awesome.
I used the bling on a build I was doing right here. I can't
Yeah.
show but the top, but that's fine. Chris won't show it. Yeah.
No, well, so what was the first thing you ever built in this room? You remember what it was? I'll give you a hint.
Pie.
It was a pie. You want to explain what a pie is?
It's one of these like what are they called?
The drawers,
No, like there's circles with lids.
the pick-a-brick cups.
Yeah,
Okay, and what would you do?
and I would fill them with random pieces.
She would take whole drawers and dump them into a pick-a-brick cup or a storage box and mix them all together. Does that sound like a cool build
That's bad.
Very.
or a nightmare? Let's go back to the camera. Let's see who's crying.
So,
Rye's not crying because he's the status.
welcome to the show, Ryan. How you doing, man?
What's up, guys?
What's going on?
Right.
I was late.
How's
I
Lego
was
land?
late to the festivities because my kid had a
What is that?
back to school night internet thing we were watching on the other screen.
Is that you?
All right, not to change subjects, but tell us what is going on or what you can and can't tell us about your Legoland experience.
And
So, the filters are going through my head. Nothing terribly interesting I can share this week.
what,
All right.
Dylan? What?
I'm sorting at home. That's the more interesting thing right now.
Awesome. All right, well, Sally, you have raised what you got 4 kids, right?
4, yeah.
4.
You see
One
that?
shares a birthday with my son, which is always a cool thing.
Yeah, that makes it really easy to remember when to text you.
I'm like, oh yeah, happy birthday, Carter.
Yeah, pretty much.
You text them on the wrong kid's birthday.
No.
So how into the brick are your kids?
Varying but increasing levels of interest. Obviously, Carter being the oldest, he's been doing it the longest. Our big thing with him now is because he and his younger brother get allowance, they like to plan and save. Well, Carter likes to plan and save and forces Connor to sort of tag along so he can get more together with him. But when I say he likes to plan, I literally mean every time a catalog shows up, he will make lists of notebook papers of all the things he wants to buy and prioritizes them and breaks down what discounts he can get and figures out what he can get over like a period of a year with his allowance. And that's how they ended up getting the Hogwarts castle set together. They saved their allowance for a year, did some extra work, saved birthday money, and used my discount to afford that set together. And I've never bought a $400 set in my life, and now they have one and I don't.
I just want to say that your child is like must be on some like quantum wavelength with me because that's like if I were like a child again.
Yeah,
I would be that.
it can get a little frustrating, but at the same time, he's an amazing planner, and that's a great skill to have that I don't think a lot of people can claim to. And then on the other end of my spectrum, my daughters, who are 6 and 4, my 6-year-old's been doing junior and friends for a little bit while longer. But after we moved from Florida here to New York, we basically ditched all the Duplo in Florida, gave them away to friends and stuff. And we have no Duplo in our house anymore, which is sort of weird after 12 years to have no Duplo around. And we're figuring out how to control our patience and volume levels in our house when 2 little girls like to fight over Lego constantly during the day. My poor wife has to deal with it all day, every day, fighting, and they have to like divvy up the pieces and chunks of sets like fairly so they don't fight over it all day. I just reach out and touch Mark's face like his son.
All right. All right. Here we go. I have a question for you. All right.
Gave away your Duplo, man. That's
All
hardcore.
that filler that could have been used.
Yeah, I'm not terribly interested in keeping Duplo around as filler.
Does it hurt that
Really?
your children, that your planner child asked the other kid to be his partner and not you?
I think they understand our financial situation better than I do. So yeah.
Cuts deep.
I've just been told that if I get rid of the Duplo, I'll stop having more grandchildren.
That
That was the pronouncement from my wife. As long as I keep the Duplo, more grandchildren will come. I have one due in November, so there we are.
That brings up a point. I don't know how many of you have your parents involved in your lives and your kids' lives and everything. My mom, unfortunately, is not because she's passed on, but my dad is, and Mel's parents are. Talk about the grandparents and Lego. Did you lose respect for the grandparents willing to drop serious cash on your kid for them to get Lego when you used to have to beg, borrow, and steal and cry for the small box back in the day? And like, would you like the Ninjago line? Sure, that kind of stuff. Tell me about your parents and their Lego enabling with your kids. Now, Rich is one of those right now. He is a grandparent, right? No, anyway. Talk to me about the your parents' role in your kids' Lego life.
I know for a fact that my mom has 2 Lego sets that are set aside for Christmas and birthday for small Paul.
Spoiler alert for the kids.
Did he hear that?
Yeah, I didn't say what they were.
Okay.
But yeah,
Can you hear us?
here's small Paul Cam. There it is. He's building. You can see the condition of my floor.
Yes, that also guards against burglars coming in. They can't step on that.
Yeah.
Lower build table
Yes,
looking pretty cool.
My mom tries to get him whatever his current favorite theme is, and so sometimes a package will show up with something in it that's not for me, but it is Lego.
Yeah, and it's for me.
Connecting the dots.
Oh,
I've got one.
What you got there, man?
So this isn't so much my parents, which they let me take care of the Lego. Me and my wife take care of the Lego gifts, but my sister, who she tries to indulge my kids as much as she can. She's an awesome aunt to them. And my son is very into garbage trucks, and we had got the any garbage related kit that's out, he pretty much has it. So she thought she was being super cool and amazing, which she absolutely was, when she found a garbage truck on Amazon that my son, who is 7, did not have. And she showed me it. She's like, does your son have this? I said, no, that's awesome. Where'd you find that? She's like, oh, I got it on Amazon. And I was like, cool, thanks. It was like discontinued in like 2009 or something. She bought it new in the box off of Amazon and dropped something ridiculous like $70 for this truck. And there's like a forklift that comes with it too. So it's not just this, but I'm just like, yeah, if you're paying more than about 10 cents per piece, you're not getting a good deal. And she kind of thought it was hilarious that she had actually done that, but now I think she's learned a little bit more about it. And my son loves the set.
By the way, as a space guy, I wanted copies of that set because of those rounded
those tops.
Yeah, which I've got some on my spaceship right now. So because they're so cool, right? That's awesome. So my brother has done that for my son. In fact, he bought a set, gave it to him for our Christmas, and I know he got it on Amazon. And it's just one of the adventurer's planes with the Baron von whatever with the hook in his hand, all that kind of stuff. His little biplane or whatever it was. And I said, how much did you buy that for? He goes, I probably shouldn't tell you. I'm like, I don't want to know that, because I knew he paid the big time premium to get it for him and everything, which was cool.
But the guy doesn't even have 2 hands.
Yeah, right. But now I know this too. I don't know about your kid, but usually it gets played with, especially a set that he builds, and he builds them. He builds it. It then starts to turn into what we call dust at our house. It starts to crumble, or you play with it hard, pieces fall off, and it starts to crumble. As a Lego parent, what is your rule about when the set is stopped being played with, or it's in disrepair and ignored, or what? What do you do with that Lego?
When I
I
can't
burn
walk
it.
through the room, it gets put in the bin.
All right.
If it's orphaned Lego, it gets absorbed.
Okay. All right. That's a rule in my house. If it's turned to dust and you ignore it, it's now dad's, or it's the house's Lego and everything. Greg, what were you saying?
If it gets to the point where I can't walk through the room, everything's just got to go in the couple of plastic bins we've got.
All right. Into the sort tub, right?
Oh,
Gotcha.
One thing I do
it never
is
gets sorted.
there's some stuff that I built like for my daughter's room, which she still has there, like a mouse guard, medieval thing or whatever. But the stuff that I built for her, like for me, I find if it starts to get sun faded, then I gotta take it down. Otherwise, it just gets wrecked, right? But but that just goes to show it's like years. Like it stays because I'm gonna do some gender stereotyping, but because she's a girl, it stays untouched and unmolested for like 10 years. Right? Yeah.
No, as a boy, a little more destructive. That plane crashes and the wing breaks off, and it's continuing to play all broken and sputtered, and the wing, is broken off, or the piece is broken off. So when that becomes a mess, it then goes into resort. Have you ever? Okay, anybody else? What's your rule about Lego and everything? All the extra pieces, by the way, that Lego is the dad cut in our house. I get those. So that's dad cut. It goes into the bin, right? I mean, because once they're there and the bags are on the table and they're playing with a thing, I'm like, yep, those are mine. Put the bags up. My kid never throws the bags away. By the way, drives me crazy. So wait, somebody was telling me what? Yeah, what's up, man?
So over the last since lockdown started happening, the three of us, my wife doesn't really care, agreed to start making a family Lego room.
Right.
So their stuff ended up in here, whether I find it or not. Now, what I found is they wanted to do that all along, so they get into the sorted stuff, but it still leaves me doing all the sorting. So I thought I was getting more stuff. I'm just getting more work.
All right. Yeah. So how many would you say it is? All the sorting is you. I mean, no matter who is doing what in the house, how many is the?
Always.
Yeah.
Always.
Well, now I will say this is the deal. The way my son earns money, and it really is awesome. I can tell when there's a new Fortnite skin / something coming out because, Dad, can I sort some Lego for you? All right.
What?
And so I've got a thing I scoop and I put out, and he sorts them for a certain amount of money, and that actually works. Except he's like me. About halfway through the sort, he gets this great idea, and the sort stops, and he starts pulling more Lego back out to build some little crazy contraption.
I've found during the sorting, the stuff I've been sorting ends up being put together as a table scraps in the middle of the sort pile. So now I'm sorting it twice.
Right.
So my wife has been very gracious to help me sort like 90% of the Lego, which probably makes all of you jealous as hell. And then my grandchildren have decided that. Yes, I know.
Hey, well, do you guys want to come stay with us for a few days?
No,
I mean,
no.
Just Linda.
And my grandchildren finally figured out that it's cool to sort. So, thanks. John Denver will serenade you with songs later.
Almost heaven.
West Virginia, no.
Your wife sorts for you, huh? Or will sort?
Will sort for me, yes.
Yeah, that's what mine's doing right now as well.
You don't want me to come to your house. You want my wife to come to your house.
I hate you both.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Yes,
right.
Now,
yes,
actually, there's one thing just before we continue on, and Chris,
Y'all continue on. I gotta help the dog.
Is that what you're calling it now?
Yeah, I gotta say, it's kind of an odd.
Sorry, I had to go there.
Euphemism. Yeah.
Nick's been taking on the dog.
You're up, PB. Keep going.
Sometimes you just gotta help the dog.
Well, there's actually 2 points I want to have. I'll make the other one first. One is actually looking way back in the early minutes of this chat with Dana and that classic space set. And I just got to say that, it's an awesome set. It's great. We all, play with them in similar ways and stuff. But the fact that you would dismember the robot to stuff into the trunk of that set, a la Joe Pesci kind of thing, right? It goes miles to explain sort of,
It's a very Dexter move.
So,
yeah.
Now, 2 points there. Props for the Dexter comment, because my oldest cat right now, his name is Dexter.
Oh, God, I don't want to hear this.
No, it's PG. This part's PG. Dexter's the
Cats can die in PG movies.
I just want to know if you put saran wrap in the compartment before you stuff the robot in there.
Well, yeah, I imagine you doing that. And then, like the spaceman says, leave the ray gun, take the cannoli. Like that's like all I'm hearing.
Well, I mean, so our oldest cat's name is Dexter, and he is named after the serial killer TV show. And then whenever we go buy a car, and the car dealer always opens up the trunk, and I always climb in just to make sure there's enough space in the trunk for a body.
Hey,
That's
perfect.
the saddest thing
I don't know. I mean, is that not the right way to buy a car?
Not
That's
at
the way
all.
to get the price down.
I am so glad you guys are bringing my subscription level
Coincidentally,
down.
we just bought a new car. We bought a Grand Caravan with the stow and go seating so that we can get more things in the back when we go to events eventually.
Exactly.
I think several dead bodies can get in there.
Yeah, if you can fit several dead bodies in there, you can fit several tubs of Lego in there.
Welcome back to old grade dismemberment.
Oh yeah. Okay. And so to get back to my earlier point, it's more of a request. It's more of a request. Saying that, Chris, I know that for if you get excited about the chat, and also you got a little bit of the Southern thing going on. But however, I would appreciate if you could leave more of a dramatic pause between Fortnite and Skin, because when you cram them together, things kind of start to crawl a little, in a curious way, but also in a little.
It's really Old Testament kind of thing going on there.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, and then it goes right into checking on the dog, and I just
helping the dog.
I can't get Ryan's chest out of my mind.
And you guys give me a hard time.
I was going for 30 seconds. What have you done?
You need to add a Tuesday show about how
Somebody flushed.
You guys give me a hard time about the convex ribbed panel. Come on.
The Swedish one?
That's what she said.
It's Danish.
No, Danish.
Oh,
Well,
that's
Danish
terrible. That's awful.
Norwegian, it's all Scandinavian. It's all good.
You know it's space when the wheels fall.
Is there a
Instead of
meet
messy
all
Monday,
button? Hang on.
be like,
One at a time, all the way down.
Oh, well, that would take too long.
Yeah.
I'm doing way too much family wholesomeness.
instead of messy Monday,
it out.
it needs to be PG-13.
But you see, we needed this because we had this kind of group hug about kids and emotional moments. Now we need to take a tour through the gold-plated toilet. It's the only way.
Wait, did somebody say toilets? Hold on.
That's true, Dave. I'm going to be calling a whole new panel next week, I believe. So I would say there would be no need to be more Canadians, but I think the Canadian here is the lead dog in this pack, by the way. So.
Hey, now you're back to dogs again. You don't take care of.
And if you're not the lead dog, the scenery never changes. Just remember that. So, wait, Bricksmith, show us what you got, man. I saw that.
I mean, it changed with you, didn't it? He said toilets.
Sweet
toilets.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
I like it.
I stole the box out of it's the blue guy, but
You give him legs. You gave him life.
Sleep dog.
And everybody can go in there, it looks like.
And ride out.
Oops, we lost somebody.
Even the dog.
Who did we lose?
Even the dog can go in there and get help.
Who did we lose?
Oh, we lost Greg. We lost Greg.
Oh, okay.
That's a big dog.
See if he joins back in. By the way, and if you want to know, me and the dog had to go outside and use the restroom. So I'll let you go there.
TMI, Chris. TMI.
Was it the same bush or?
No, he was on one corner and I was on the other. So got to mark
Eye contact.
You got
Just
his bushes.
Do what?
You got to establish
bring
the
it in.
perimeter.
That's right. That's right.
Cross the stream.
Around the dog.
Don't cross the street.
No.
Don't break contact.
See, this is why you guys need snow. Without snow, it's just like you forget what you wrote. It's like CH. Oh, where was I? My God. Gatorade.
The visual is even better because a lot of you guys don't know that Chris has a beagle or a basset hound. So the visual's just even better.
Well, I mean, yeah, he's about to always drag his transmission on the ground anyway, wherever he goes.
No. Okay.
I'm only operating with one half, so
He has none, so
Low vein.
Bless their hearts.
oh my, this has degenerated even further. So
again, I didn't start it.
yeah, but you participated. All right, with
I like your classic sink there you have.
Oh, yeah, wait, Chris, bring that back. You got to introduce everybody to
Oh.
the new mascot.
oh yeah, this is our new old gray mascot right here. This is the old gray brick. There he is, right there.
Oh, I'm glad he's sufficiently angry.
Yeah.
Grumpy.
Needs a beard.
Oh, I should have here.
48 by 48.
You kids get off my base plate.
He needs a beard. I love it.
Oh me. All right. Well, anyway, I always love hanging out with you guys. Viewers may or may not have enjoyed what we've talked about, but this is pretty much how it goes when you're at a Lego convention with your friends. You'll talk Lego for a little while, and then right into potty humor for the rest.
And you're back to this.
Imagine 5 days of this.
Yes. Now
Pure
I will
bliss.
admit I have taught my son how to do the arm bend pick and everything, and I'm like, after you tell your kid to do something, you're like, I am getting a note from school. I'm sure I have not, but
It's coming. It's coming.
it's coming. That's right.
The first picture I ever got on my phone was Mark doing that.
With the freckles.
Yeah.
No,
I
it's
didn't know what it was. I knew who it was.
Name that body part.
Oh me. All right. Quick question. Since we're all guys here, what is the thing? I'll tell you. The thing, maybe a joke. Don't repeat the joke if it's really bad. But something you have done,
wait, what? Sorry.
something you've done. You've taught your kid that came back and boomeranged on you really bad. All right.
I'm safe on this one.
I've got this.
Ryan, go ahead.
This isn't Lego related, but this happened recently. First off, has everyone seen the movie Scott Pilgrim versus the World?
Yeah.
Yes.
One of my
It's on my
favorite
list.
movies ever. I made the mistake of remembering a line from the movie and showing my kids a clip of that movie where it's the scene where he goes, I love garlic bread. I could eat garlic bread for every meal. And she says, bread makes you fat. Bread makes you fat? And now my kids won't stop saying it anytime someone's eating bread. Like constantly, like multiple times per meal. And I'm like, okay, we get it. It was funny. I'm sorry I showed you the clip. But bread makes you fat. Bread makes you fat. And I'm like, what have I done? My wife's laughing over here because it's been like, we literally can't eat bread anymore.
Way to teach body shaming to 9 kids, Rye.
When I was a little kid, I have a sister who's 3 years younger, so she was probably like 6 years old. And one of our family friends pulled up, and he just bought a vehicle, and he's like, "Hey, you want to go for a ride?" So we get in, and my sister and I are in the middle. My dad and the friend he's in the driver's seat, and so my dad spits out the window, and my sister thinks this is a really cool thing. I'm going to spit out the window too. But she's a little girl, so she spits and it goes directly into his beard. My dad's like, probably don't want to do that again.
Ugh. It starts in the home.
The one that boomeranged on me the worst, Jake was in a small school, and this was after I'd had the cancer I'd had, and we were making jokes, and he was with a bunch of his little buddies. And so, well, the buddies were actually older than him. They were older boys and all that kind of stuff. So we were telling jokes, and I told this one, and it was, what did the a pirate walks into a bar and he's got a steering wheel shoved down his pants. and the bartender says, "Man, that looks irritating." And the pirate goes, "It's driving me nuts." And so I told him that joke. And I said the thing that never worked, son. Don't tell that joke to anybody else.
Especially your grandparents.
The next day, he had told it to everybody, I think, and it's a great joke, but it was that one boomeranged on me hard and bad. So, oh well.
I think the one that we had that came back sort of the worst was my daughter was really into Thomas the Train when she was younger. And Thomas is one of his little sort of like friends / minions was Percy. So, and the kids at the school she was at, they all had, their trains and stuff like that. And so, anyway, this other friend of hers, she had some of her trains and that, but they were hand-me-downs from her brother, so they were all banged up and stuff, right? So I said they were playing, and they said, "Oh, it's time to go. Let's go." So she's picking up her trains, and I said, "Oh, who's this one? This little one of Percy's. This one yours?" And because it's a family, it's still a PG thing, little girls, slight sibilance. Well, Percy comes out like something else, right? All the time. No. So she looks at me and she says, "Yeah," said, said, "But Julius Percy is filthy and nobody wants it." So my wife and I hear this, we're just killing ourselves. So always, we're on the way home, we having normal conversations, yeah. Oh, and by the way, Julius Percy's filthy and nobody wants it. Of course, she's in the back seat. Now she's saying it as a non sequitur to everything. It's like, "Here, do you want a pop tart? Sure, sounds good, but Julia." So it's kept coming back for years. Plus, okay, look, no more. It just it's got to stop.
Oh man.
Anyway.
The funny thing is, you just reminded me of an anecdote that Gil told me about his daughter playing with Lego probably several years ago when she was small. You had told me that she was playing with a Lego lady was driving her car, and she had a Lego guy that fixed the car or something. And you had told me that her choice of phrase was, "And then she opens her legs and pays the man." Presumably it was the Lego minifigure was standing up to do whatever innocent thing, but the choice of phrase was awesome.
It's something to do with the exchange rate.
Well, we do have a beaver on the $5 bill.
Oh, that's where I left that.
Oh my!
Sorry, Chris.
Is this the best episode ever or the worst episode ever?
I know.
It's teetering.
Is it all?
It's a both.
Yes, I don't know. The T-shirt episode is pretty cool.
Ooh, that's yeah.
Yeah.
That small portion of it.
That was pretty special.
I may have lost a viewer or two. I'm not sure.
This episode has had its high.
Sorry, you don't want them anyway.
Lows, so
I feel like we're kind of on this sort of rocky, slimy, sort of excrement, slippery road that's going down. Last week we had Dana asking guests, when people were
Where
being
do babies
conceived.
come from? I believe was the question.
Yeah. And things that he thought about in the shower. And, I don't know.
my.
I do have my own little Tyler, so.
Oh,
Again, Chris calls it the dog. You call it your little Tyler. Whatever. Whatever.
So after all this discussion about Percy, I had to go find this photo from when Paul was small.
I don't know where this
no.
is going.
He put Percy in timeout. That was
Because that's what you do. You put your Percy in
On
time.
the
do.
coaching table.
timeout.
I don't know why.
You said that he was hitting someone and was not being nice.
Hey, you don't have to know. Percy know what he did.
Exactly.
Percy
Percy knows what he did.
Oh, well,
Nobody
At least-
puts Percy in the corner. Sorry.
at least we started out with sentimentality and have devolved into
Normalcy.
Percy shaming. Just go ahead and say it's Percy shaming. Go on.
you.
We could start talking about Caillou and how terrible he is.
Meanwhile, half of us look like Caillou now.
Oh,
Seriously.
I'll sell my stuff for extensions if you want it. You can call it a weave, but I don't know where you're going to attach it.
Here and then I'd have a tail.
all right, everybody. We are actually at an hour and 30 minutes, so
Chris, I couldn't get
whether I
that
need
right
to shut it down or it should be shut down. We're going to shut down.
Anyway, the first 35 minutes was pretty relevant.
Put it down, Chris. Put it down. Put it out of its misery.
I'll just learn to hold it and tell the dog to hold it next time, and we will wait to take him to the bathroom until the stream is over.
Too easy.
So to be fair, we were left on our own.
You were left unattended.
For almost 40 seconds.
We had no adults in the room.
It's really your fault.
Oh, what? Brooke Smith, sit down.
Oh, it's cold here.
Right, put on a hat.
Oh, as much as I hate you guys, I love you guys. Anyway, so thanks for showing up. Thank you for keeping it classy until Meredith and Nat left the room, at least. But I enjoyed my All right, we're gonna end it right there. Thank you. We had a lot of viewers in the chat, and I hope I probably missed some folks in the chat tonight, and I'm sorry. But glad you guys are here and everything. Thank you guys for joining us. We'll be back on Messy Monday just talking and chatting up the brick a little bit, and we'll be back here with a different topic. Not sure which it is for Thursday.
Maybe potty humor? No.
Yeah, potty humor and your kid. Yeah, right. And we may even talk about the role of your spouse or whatever in Lego. Who knows? Much like train wreck.
You're a enabler.
Come back for Messy Monday. It probably gets worse. So, all right. Thank you.
This one had a theme.
It's family friendly for an hour.
Yeah, right. All right. Just like a guy, we can be sentimental. We can give somebody a hug, but then we have to hit them on the back. We talk really nice about our kids and then talk about potty humor.
My kid was on this show.
Punch him in the arm.
That's right.
Cut him up, stuff him in the trunk.
Yes, mass murdering. That was a good little delve. Thank you very much for that too. All right, thank y'all for joining us tonight. I'll have these maybe more under control next week. Probably not, and that's quite okay. Glad to have you guys here. This is just like being at Brick Fair and Brick Fest back in the day, so that's awesome. Have a great night. Good to see y'all, everybody. Bye.